if we've got some things on the consent agenda and things like that that we need to handle anyway, we may arrive by that time. We do have a quorum with Commissioner Griffin and Commissioner Moore and myself. So we'll rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Our Father, we ask your guidance and your help in making decisions. We ask that you keep us on the right path. We ask that you help us serve our community. We thank you for the honor of being able to serve our community. We ask that you guide and protect our county and the people in our county and in our district from the current problems we have. And we ask that you guide our vote. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Does anyone who's not on the board have any questions or comments? Okay, then we'll go ahead and proceed on to item A on the consent agenda. Review the meeting minutes from the meeting of 4/28.
Attached to your agendas, gentlemen.
Right.
No discrepancies, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 4/28/20.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Griffin, a second by Moore to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I need to sign these 4 minutes.
Right here, sir. I have a copy right there for you to sign. And then Mr. Griffin doesn't mind signing as well. Thank you, sir. Mr. Griffin.
Okay, invoices and who made the payment?
I know,
Okay.
Nothing.
this month.
Nothing for the treasurer to report.
Well, that's good. That's very good. Considering our financial agreement at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Report by board attorney about auditor and CPAs and status with ESD provider and any other negotiations.
The reason the auditor CPA question is on there is last meeting y'all requested me to research the question that we were discussing, and that is when do we need these folks? The consensus with 2 separate ESDs that I spoke with was that the auditor and the CPA are not, next year for sure. I'd say by October 1, we probably want to get a CPA involved to start assisting, our service provider, kind of double checking what they're doing and maybe seeing if we need to make, any changes to that. But right now, we don't need an auditor. We don't have a report due. The next report that will be due will be to the county and then one to the state. That'll be in the spring of next year. So those items aren't really pressing at this time.
The state don't need one this year, the state
No.
doesn't forward, okay. The board has been.
There's one just information only report that I'll be filing myself. Okay, it's a nothing to report.
audit 0.
And status of the ESD and service provider and any other negotiations what we have. Several members of our prospective service provider here tonight that can discuss to you what me and Ms. Hernandez met a week or so ago and discussed, and I think things were well. Ms. Hernandez, would you like to add anything?
No, when we met last week or so ago, we did discuss, there were some questions we had, and Tom clarified some of the stuff that we had questions on, and it wasn't a lot of the stuff, it was just things we just wanted to do some clarification on. I don't know, for example, we had, y'all had on the contract about how we need to do background checks and all, which was good with us with the state. You have to do a background checks every time you renew your license now. It's state mandated. So that's the thing we don't have to do. I check driving records when they first come in, and then it's like a lottery. I pick several throughout the month to check driving records. So we just clarified that, letting them know that's already in our bylaws, that we do have to do that. And more so now that the state's requiring anytime you recert, you have to do a background check. It used to be just when you started your license. And he clarified that for us, and then just other stuff we had that we already have in play, like the workers' comp is already in play for us. The liability insurances that we have to carry, that is state mandated. So I just clarified all that with him and other questions we had. Again, which wasn't a lot, it was just clarifications that we needed. We did meet, our association did meet last week, Wednesday, and we discussed it in length about our meeting with Tom and what you guys were wanting from us and goals that y'all had for us and stuff. And after a lengthy discussion, it was voted on for us to go ahead and approve the contract and get this going, because there will be stuff that I'm going to have to start working on, like name changes and stuff like that. And the state has made some changes. It's an incredible amount of work for me, but it's just paperwork that the state requires me to do a name change. So we did vote again and said we would accept the contract. And people
Would
would
you like
have
to accept it right now, because the president's sitting right here, they've already voted in favor.
right. So and we did, and we as well had, like I said, the questions we had were answered. So we were ready to proceed further with this.
Does anyone have any questions?
I don't.
This will lock in what we've been discussing since we started. These are the folks that want to get y'all in these seats, so now we'll be joining with them. We need them to be, technically, the contract will not be effective until October 1. However, we're going to start working immediately next week. You just heard from Ms. Hernandez, she's got a bunch to do, and we have a bunch to do next month, before next month, with her and her staff, to figure out exactly the best way to support them in the next year and also achieve the long-term goals of the district. So I did bring a copy of the agreement. If y'all wish to, it's the same exact agreement, Mary, no tricks. But if y'all wanted to sign it, our secretary and president has to sign it, and their president and secretary, or another representative of the board.
Steve, did you ever get
I think also a lot of the stuff that you guys are requiring already are in play with us. So it's not going to be a hard transition other than just changing our names. But other than that, I know why you wrote it the way you did, but just to give you a peace of mind is the bylaws are there, the SOPs that we have to have, the training that we do. I'm a great training officer. We do training every meeting. We do lengthy training quarterly. So that's really all in play, so that y'all know that we're already doing what you guys have required from us to do. It's already being done. Not only because it's required by the state that we have some kind of plan, but something we've already implemented years before the state required us to do that.
Steve, I can't remember if you were here, but he gave us a comment.
There was the email sent out, so I reviewed that.
Yes.
then, yeah, I'm good with it.
This is, as I'll stress again, me and Mary have talked about this, I'll stress, this is a formality to get us together. I can't promise you we'll have, but I have a feeling that this is a 2-year contract, and I have a feeling that it may not be renewed. Because the district will be volunteer ambulance service, the volunteer ambulance service will be the district by that time. All the little procedural things that have to come together for the district to start being an emergency response agency will be done. You know, that's a partnership aspect we'll be getting from them. And we'll be bringing the money.
I want to stress to the association that we're here to assist you in any way we can. We don't want to make things difficult in any way. There are going to be some unusual things happen, we know that. There are going to be some problems we're going to run into, we know that. But I think we're going to tackle that with you guys in mind in service for our citizens. We need to go ahead and vote on this.
I think you would need to vote at this time to go ahead and proceed with a contract with the Wilson County Volunteer Ambulance Service, and you can execute the contract at this time. We're in business.
I make a motion to accept the contract signed.
Second. Okay, I have a motion by Moore, a second by Griffin to approve the contract with Wilson County Volunteer Ambulance Association. Any further discussion?
And again, you guys, our doors are always open, if y'all want to stop by and see what our SOPs are, bylaws are. I have them on I can send them to you by email, if you want to look at them, just glance at them. We are required to carry them on our trucks, so.
You got one of this?
I could put it on a USB port, yeah. I should have.
And if there's any changes that y'all want us to do, we're glad to work with you guys.
There is some stuff that y'all might want done differently. Again, we've been adding to it as years go by because things have changed. Like when they were ready, the cell phone weren't an issue like they are now. So they know what our policies are about cell phones and stuff like that. So.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor? Motion carries.
Sir.
We're gonna put it on our shirt so we see. You can see for it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's get shirts from the board
Yep.
and the lawyer.
And we also have the shirts already to say ESD4 on it.
That
So.
is, yes, right there, and just print your name, Bill Gleason, and our secretary will attest, and then vice versa.
Then also, I guess you guys decided if y'all okay. We did not, we put establishment 2019. That's when we got voted in. But this was something we did in-house for us.
That's between y'all. I don't know if the board is that, technically, as we talked about, the board, I think this board likes to be kept in the loop, but I don't sense micromanagement here.
Well, I appreciate getting the emails that I get from you every once in a while, letting me know what's going on. And I think that's important, and I think it's something that we would like to continue.
And I think it's very, and that's what I believe in that. I think for us to be having that open communication is that. I want to let y'all know about the grant we recently got. We're excited about it. We think appliance is a big deal, but we're saving a lot of money.
Mary, would you like to come over here and sign this agreement, please? And another representative, your secretary, or any representative of your board. What I'll do is I'll email you an agreement, a copy of it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a historic moment.
It is. And if you don't mind printing it.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'd like to have a picture
did you sign?
Maybe a picture of them shaking hands.
There you go.
You pose, I'll photograph.
That's
Oh, that's right.
Get out of the way here.
Look at each other. Oh, okay.
We got a lot of other stuff to talk about, maybe not tonight, but
Oh,
that's
no,
when we
yeah,
start.
yes.
The employee issues and all that other stuff.
Yes.
It just starts the work. I know you are not afraid to work.
I'm sorry?
I know you're not afraid to work.
No.
Neither is your staff. Can't believe this is like a bill. You got him. Oh, I'm just kidding.
It would have been different if I didn't ask any questions.
I think one of the things that, you know, that I'm proud of is because I was back a long time ago with the association and stuff like that, and I'm glad to see it grow. And it's still gonna be alive as long as y'all are running, it's still gonna be there. And I'm very proud of that.
So are we. We work hard to where we're at, and my staff makes my job easy. I'm very blessed to have the staff that I have, and the volunteers that continue coming
We're
along.
blessed to have you along with us. Okay. Reports, and then we'll move on to the next topic here. Reports, discussions, and possible action regarding the matters individual board members and board attorney were investigating regarding matters affecting the district, including but not limited to timelines for budget, setting tax rate, etc.
There's two things here that I need to talk about, and there's another thing that I'd like to put our newest service provider on the hot seat. Mary, I'd like you to brief the board about what we discussed about that chassis issue. But I mean, you go ahead and then I'll brief it. Go
So,
ahead.
one of the discussions that Tom, when we met last week, a couple weeks ago, was we needed to replace that chassis sooner than later. We don't want to put any more money into that truck, because it's getting to be where we're running it on thin ice. We've gotten quotes, we got a quote on the chassis, we've gotten a quote, on a new truck they have in stock, and stuff like that, so whether we do the chassis first or the truck first, but it needs to be done before October 1. Somehow or another, we have to figure something out, because we don't want to put any more money into that truck. It's given us, it's been our problem child from the beginning.
Which unit is it?
Unit 1, the one that's outside, the newest one.
Unit 1, how many miles got on?
100,000. It's 10 years old, going on 11.
So it's over 100,000?
But the 10-year-old unit, is the box the same?
The box could be kept because it's got all the new LED lights on it. That's the truck that has the power lift, the power stretcher.
Okay,
So really, it'd be crazy for us to turn in that box. It's
okay,
just the chassis itself, which is what runs it.
yeah.
And we are needing to get that taken care of.
One of the issues I pointed out to Mary was that the moment you start working with the district, all the rules, all the statutory stuff in 775 and other parts of the government code apply. And one of the issues that we may have on this is bidding. Because theoretically, this is an item that they could go and get anybody to do it. But I'm not sure, I think the district has to comply with the bidding rules. Now, as Stephen knows, sometimes specialty equipment can get around that. But I don't know.
Usually it's over the dollar amount. I think there's
So,
20.
speaking to the person that's been giving me the bids and stuff like that, and I think I discussed with you a little bit on it. I'm trying to call up his email. There is something that we could do that he said do not have to go out for bids.
The DIR?
I call it something else, HG something. and ask him to send me some information. I meant to send it to you, because I know you had asked for it. But I could still do that, but I'm gonna see if I can call it real quick and let you know exactly what that's called. It's called HGAC. And it's a contract that he said, where you guys don't have to go out there and get bids. Now, I don't know much about it. A lot of attorney lingo in there, and I was like, I don't know what this means. But a medical thing, I don't know what it is.
Well, I'd like to take a look at all that.
But I will forward that to you, and I should have done it before the meeting. But let me, real quick, just give you a quick reference to that he sent me. And,
Me and, you probably know about this, Tom, me and Paul have talked to the individual from Brandy Ford. There's a grant program that, well, you probably know, but there's a grant program out there that some of the counties and cities have been getting that possibly, this day, possibly dump trucks. I don't know about ambulances, but it's something to work out. We have a meeting. If you have a dump truck that's old, the emissions are not up to standards or what to the EPA and all that. But there's a grant program out there that they'll buy your truck for basically the same amount of money as a new one. Basically, it's $128,000 max on it. So whatever the truck appraises for, and whatever the new truck is, you get that $128,000 plus you got to match it if it's over the 128. Now this government vehicles and county deals and all that, it's something that I'd like to get a meeting with them next week. It's something we can bring up and ask them. It's running forward. Most likely Granny Ford will be involved in the bidding process for a new chassis. What's it, 550, 650, what are there now?
the one we have right now is a 350.
Okay, normally it's 550, 650, which would be bigger.
Yeah, well, the one that the guy that sent me a quote, also sent me a quote for the chassis and a unit they have, was a 450, which he had brought it by once before for us to see if it fit in the station. Of course, it's a 4x4, but we're able to lower it and we could go into the station with it. But this thing that I was talking to you about, it's with the Houston Galveston Area Council. And there's something that they belong to and they contract. I'll forward this guys to you guys so I can read it.
Yeah.
And then also the quote that he gave me on a new truck. Because I mean, he's ready. I'm like, dude, if I had the money, I'd be ready myself. I go, and the graphics have to change, and that's something that we'll discuss later, is with graphics, we want to keep the same colors, we would like to keep the same colors, but it'll be up to you guys as well on what y'all want.
So what's his quote, do you say?
The new truck, $180,000. And that's with the trade-in, one of the older units that we have. We were trying to see if we could sell the unit outside, get more. Brand new. It only has the only miles it has on it was when they brought it from the place they designed it and made it to San Antonio.
Now is this a complete box?
Complete Title
Complete
1.
unit, I should
Complete
say.
unit.
Okay, so 180,000 for a complete unit.
Yes.
Compared to
A
how
chassis.
much?
A chassis is 100,000. But with the new unit,
When you
guys.
say chassis, pardon me.
Yes.
When you say chassis, you're talking about like the automotive part under
The truck itself.
Yeah.
vehicle?
Just the front part. The one that's going to pull your box.
Yeah.
Now, the new unit, yes, it's 180,000, but that's not including the stretcher and the power lift that we would like to add to that. That's under $50,000. So you're looking at $230,000+.
Why is the chassis 100,000?
That included the re-graphing, because y'all want to do different graphics, as a name change, and they're going to do make sure that box itself, like, do
So
all
basically,
the,
that's chassis retrofitted,
yes,
that's 100,000, the whole, that's turnkey there, right?
right. And because they're going to make sure that all the lights, they're up to par, and even if the lights on the box might have to be changed, and make sure that everything inside and all the nicks and stuff that the ghost has done to the truck, the tree limbs. There's an AC in the back that needs to be either taken out or blocked off somehow that we don't use, that never worked. And so that's like fixing up the whole truck, making sure that's why it's that amount. There's like the captain's chair in the back that's old, it's 10 plus years, it's still
Right.
beat up and.
So, 100,000 for the chassis, yet roughly 230, 240 for a complete unit.
Yes.
That's brand new, has no wear and tear on it, and has your power lift.
That's right with the power lift and all, it's about 230,000.
Oh, I mean,
Now, it could be less.
Let me bring us back down real quick. The reason I wanted to talk to him about it is because it seemed like to me that you conveyed that y'all needed this, you needed help between now and October. Some of this stuff we're talking about, we're in the weeds of budget. We're gonna project for next year, we're gonna just try to do this. That's a capital, potentially a capital right there.
yeah.
So what is it that you need? What does this board have to do? I mean, up to and including borrowing against the money they haven't received yet to get y'all to October. That's what they need.
That's the help that we need.
The chassis situation, that vehicle, is it about to be out of service because it's not?
We hope not, we keep it as much as we can, and we do all the oil changes, and every time we go into the shop with it, it's thousands of dollars. So we just don't think we should put any more money, $1,000 into a truck that really has been a problem child.
Is it because, I'm sorry.
Is that the heavy one, or is it?
No, that's the older, that's the thing, is the older trucks don't give us any hassle, it's the new truck, the newer truck that we have that gives us the
So
problems.
what kind of problem do you get? Is it giving you engine problem?
Oh, yeah, and right now it has an exhaust
Train
issue.
problem?
Losing power and exhaust into the vents.
The exhaust issue right now, we had it, when we took it to the shop the last time, they told us it would be like from $6,000 to $8,000 to repair the exhaust. We're like, what? No way. I'm like, yeah, yes way, it's not that much money, because they have to lift it. I don't know anything about motor. Like I said, you put me in a medical situation, I'm good. You start talking about automotives and,
And who's that telling you this?
and Sarah Ford. It's a Ford truck product.
So that's their saying, exactly what has to be done, we don't know. I mean, they can tell us a whole new story, we don't know.
I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of faith in Sarah Ford's.
Yeah, we don't.
Everything we got is Ford product, and it goes there and it never comes back to you, holler and screaming for it.
It doesn't come back as good as it does come back with issues. Matter of fact, this last one, we were in dispute with them right now. But anyways, that is something that we would want, we would need. I don't know exactly what it is. I know when I've talked to my representative with Southwest Ambulance, he said there is things that we could do where the board could sign and doesn't have to pay until like a year from now. And that's what this thing comes into play. So that's something that you would have to probably discuss with him, because I'm like the middle person here. And I don't have an issue being the middle person, it's just, I wanna make sure y'all get the right information.
Yeah, the other things we could look at
Exactly.
with the county is financing options, if we had to, when you talk about the big ticket items.
And that's, like he said, he goes, Mary, there's a lot of options that your board could look at. He goes, with whatever company they work with finance-wise, he goes, you can pay 6 months from now, a year from now. He goes, so that's something that I'll be okay to.
That's either one, newer, the chassis?
Yes, either one, or both.
I think we need to investigate a little bit more about what we're doing here.
Well, yeah.
Definitely.
And I think it's one of these things where we need to maybe have someone that knows about vehicles a little bit to go in and talk to these people and give them these quotes and find out exactly what we
And I'll be more than happy to give you our contact information. He is ready and willing. He wanted to bring the truck out here out the stand, like, no, slow your roll, buddy.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what's on the chassis. $7. And you can provide them.
But I will send you everything he sent me. I'll send it to you guys.
Well, that's something I think we need to look at, maybe
Most definitely.
put it on our agenda for next meeting and do a little investigation in between.
And I will send, everything he sent me, just like recently, I will forward to you.
Who's, and Sarah?
No,
You talking about the guy?
the guy that's selling this stuff. Yeah, and Sarah's a whole different book.
The salesman.
Make a list of everything that needs to be fixed on that truck. No, I'm serious.
Okay.
It's not, that's our justification. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You know, either way, that it
Right.
can be fixed, maybe, but the justification that we can push, lean more to a chassis or a newer vehicle. So just give me a list, I don't care if it's a door handle.
Okay.
Just, you know, so we can make sure that, you know, we're justifying
Good person.
getting a new truck, because this one is, we know it's a dinosaur, but can we milk it for another year, possibly another 2 years? I mean, there's a lot of options out there, I just want to make sure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But we need that, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
I would like to make, well, I would sort of like for you to take the lead in this thing. Mary, work with him, and he'll be our point man for this. And he can bring the information and make his investigation on it and maybe bring it back to the board.
Okay.
If that's okay with the rest of the board.
That's fine.
I think I can make that one. Both reasons.
So, but you want a list of all that has to be done to the truck?
Yeah,
Like major
Good idea.
mechanical.
yeah, a good idea of what it's gonna cost. Real detailed as possible, can, you know, just something that we can justify
Yeah.
going for a new vehicle.
I mean, you're saying we're gonna be, you don't wanna sink any more money?
Right.
Well, let's put a figure on.
A number to it.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it tonight.
But when do you need this done?
It's the next meeting.
Before then?
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to have a meeting, but well, that's what we were
Okay.
discussing. We're gonna have to have a meeting probably the first week in June.
Let's set this meeting and I'll tell you when.
Okay.
And get it to us as fast as we can and get all that. So we're gonna have to make some budget.
I will CC you on anything I send back.
It's gonna turn into a budget decision here
That's
too.
worse.
Okay.
Got me email.
I got you.
Other items that we're looking at, can you tell me about, tell us about the bike situation?
Talked with Corrine and had a lengthy discussion the other
And
day.
she's with Falls.
She's with Falls City. And I forwarded the information they need, I forwarded to our attorney, I forwarded to Tom. Basically, what they need is a resolution that says where you want your checking account, who's authorized to sign and endorse checks. The resolution will also need to state who has the authority to borrow on behalf of the entity. For example, the undersigned official, the entity's name above, hereby certified, and she gave me a template. So the number of signatures on checks is usually one. You can have more, but they will only watch for one, okay? If you want to require two, that will be your policy, not ours, but we watch for one authorized signature. We will need to have an SS4 on file to show proof of our employer identification number.
I requested that last week.
Okay.
Go on that.
We'll also need minutes from the organizational meeting, basically approving for us to do business with Falls City and allowing whoever is appointed to borrow money from them, so on and so forth. So, but I forwarded that to Tom, so that way we can prepare that and have that. Evidently, we're gonna have another meeting, so possibly have that for that meeting.
Okay.
That won't be the only bank we use.
No, well,
Well, yeah,
okay. Any other discussions we need to have under this topic?
Yes, I need to finish what I was talking about. Here's why I just was whispering to you when everyone else was talking. We're on strict timelines this year. It changed, and I don't even know what they are. Let's just put it that way. They changed, they moved up all the truth in taxation guideline deadlines this year. It's the first year of lives, but no one knows what they are exactly. We'll find out. I'll know within 2 weeks. But theoretically, our deadline, we have to have a proposed budget by the end of next month. And in July sometime, we needed to go ahead and hold a public meeting on that, in which we insert kind of a proposed tax rate. The budget and the proposed tax rate are in there. No later than August the 7th, I have to publish in the paper what that proposed tax rate is going to be. And then we have to have a public hearing on that. In years past, we had all the way till September 30th to get all this finalized. Now I'm hearing that that's not the case. We have till August 27th to get that done. So, gentlemen, I do require, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to insist that we have a little meeting on.
Yeah, I think that you're at the point where we need to
Get back to the tax rate. I know everybody's got their tax bill. There's always something on there for ESD 4 or 5.
yes. The proposed, yeah, I've got
Proposed
mine.
at 10%, is it proposed at 6%?
I didn't even check, to be quite honest with you.
I think it was 10.
Yeah, I think they maxed it.
Yeah, that's what it's going
Did any of you guys look into that CARES Act for ESDs?
No,
I think it says one thing.
Yes, it does. I got mine, but I didn't check. So I never checked.
yeah, because I had mine and it had the new ESD 4 and ESD 5.
Okay.
Wait a minute, neither of them apply to Mount Liv.
About the letter I got from the tax thing, she replied that it's informational only. If we'd like to send a member, we can do that.
Okay.
If we'd like to send somebody that's for informational, our information, we're happy to.
So that's the only timelines I do want to convey, somewhat of a sense of
This is
urgency.
for a state, this is for a state.
Yes, sir. It's for the state for a budget. We have to have public hearings, minimum 2. And we also have to publish in the newspaper what we are proposing the tax rate to be and give citizens an opportunity after you do that to come and give you their, their perspective of what your tax rate is going to be.
All right. Anything else under item B? Okay, then we'll move to item C. Discussion and possible action relating to the selection of a local financial institution and possible financial needs in District 4. And we've discussed that to some degree. Does anyone think we need to go any further into that?
Exception of any needs a service provider has.
Yeah, we really need to have that before our next meeting so we can know where you are with your needs,
Oh,
financial needs between now and October 1st.
okay. Meaning that on the trucks itself, the chassis and all that?
We're gonna have to come up with a budget and we need to know what your needs are so we can adequately take care of that.
Okay.
We need a copy of this year's budget so we kind of bear off of it.
Okay.
And maybe if you could send that to each of the board members before the meeting, that would give them a chance to,
Our needs,
yeah,
our wish list?
a wish list. And prioritize it a little
Right.
bit. because sometimes something very minor seems very minor, but it turns out that's an important item. So let us know what priorities are on
Okay.
that. And that way, we can come back and have that when we come back to the budget.
Also, do y'all want me to send this out like a day before the meeting, a week before the meeting?
It's just something we can do to know what we're talking about.
Alright.
When you give it to us at the meeting, we're trying to listen to what's
Right.
going on in the meeting and all that.
I will forward that to y'all, at least, a week before the meeting.
And I'm probably going to ask that to happen more often when we have a board meeting, if you can get a packet of stuff that we're going to, if you see that we're going to be discussing certain items, I'll contact you and see if the information gets out early so we can look at it.
And I think that I did discuss with Tom about that, it's all in the contract, what reports you guys might be needing.
Right.
And I told him what kind of time frame is that we'll discuss on time frame.
It's just easier for us to make a good decision if
Right.
we can look at it beforehand, we'll have questions and we'll know what we're
Okay.
discussing.
The only thing about, I've already been talking with several, we've got situations where we have incurred costs already, but most of the vendors, like Blackstock,
Yeah.
have agreed that they're gonna wait. They're gonna get billed right around October.
Right.
Timeframe. There's a few other vendors associated with that, other matter of
Well, this finance institution, something we need to roll up tonight, so we can try to get that set up, or, I know there's no money, there's zero balance, but.
My recommendation would be to be prepared to vote on that next meeting. That way, we briefed everybody, the ones that are not here. I'll have those resolutions ready to go. It's what we'll do in the future whenever we get another lender or banking. So, you know, it's not, once I do it one time, you know, we'll be able to reuse what we do. But I think I'll need to probably make a decision pretty quick on that.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep them, but we'll probably need to lock and line one up.
I'll try to call Sherry, and Jim sent me a June schedule for his, when he could be available. And I need to get one from Sherry and see when they are available.
Tuesday nights typically great for me. So.
Yeah. So I'll be probably calling you about a meeting. I don't know exactly what day, but very early June.
There's a regular meeting on the 23rd, right?
Yeah, and there's no way we can wait on that and
No.
have a ready.
No.
Matter of fact, we may have a couple meetings between
I'm
now and then.
thinking of budget workshop. It's probably a good idea, and prepare for maybe it to be a longer one. With our service provider, her representatives, her assistants, going over the numbers.
Right.
Next year's budget, basically, it's like I already told Mary, I mean, simple, but we need to build in, build in, of course, a cushion. And number two, build in what this board wants to accomplish, which they haven't had the money to do.
Right. And I think that one of the things that we need to be in our budget is flexible, because we're going to find out things that we haven't,
Unforeseen costs.
unforeseen costs, unforeseen needs that we have to come up with, and things like that. And so I think we need to have build a system in there where we can pull money in for that.
Well, I think kind of a broader, simpler line item budget would be the way to go. I want to remind the board, budgets can be amended. I mean, if we forgot something, we need to add something, we can amend mid-year if we have to. We just gotta, follow certain, procedures. But we do want to look at maybe Mary's budget from last year, see what worked, see what didn't, see if we need to add more to it. We're gonna have to. You have to add more in personnel because we're gonna be requiring more. She's gonna have to do a lot more, getting people that she have to pay them. The level of service y'all want, she's not gonna be able to get volunteers to do that. Not always.
Do you have a detailed budget, Brenda? How detailed is it?
We usually start working on ours in June as well. Yeah, last year.
Could you send us that?
Yeah.
That way, at least we got a template that we can start
It's-
looking at.
Did you just say you need to start working on yours next month too?
Well, yeah, but
Yours and ours are the same.
hours now,
Yeah.
hour.
What we're gonna need is a detailed budget of this year,
Okay,
then I need your budget with a wish list on it,
okay.
then, yeah, just like that. Then,
Okay.
And prioritize that wish list so we'll know what.
you know, everything's a wish list highlighted in yellow. That's how we do it here.
Okay.
I give them a wish list, they highlight it in yellow. That way they say yay, nay, yes, no, maybe, and I gotta explain myself.
Okay. I have no further items on the agenda. I think we've covered most of it. Again, we will have a meeting early in June, and I'll be notifying you about that as soon as I check other people's schedule. And, do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. Well, not second,
You
you
make-
know what I
you
mean.
make the motion. All right.
That's like it.
All right, we have a motion by Moore, second Griffin to adjourn the meeting. I declare it adjourned, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, I want to tell you how much I appreciate the work, this, the congeniality we have on this board. And also our volunteers, we've done a magnificent job.
We go by example.
Uh,
We go by example.